that's just a tough team, tough place to play, middle of the week like that. So, would I have preferred that we, get up 10-12 and so forth? Sure, but was I surprised that, it was a tight game early? And so, not really that surprised. We've been up there, I think, 3 of the last 4 years playing, and it's never been easy. It's never been easy, particularly early on. And so that was a pretty standard, first half for how we've typically played up there against those guys. It's just tough. Nothing's easy.
We definitely came out a little slow. We've been sitting around. It was we had a snow day, so we hadn't been. Everyone was sitting around at home, just kind of doing their MyBG work. So I think we definitely started slow, and then they came out not missing anything. They could hit threes. They were hitting layups. So I think it was just they were hitting everything. We kind of weren't adjusted to the game yet, so we really just needed to pick it up and realize that now we got to come to play. They're coming to play. We need to match their mentality.
Just having the snow day was kind of unexpected. Like, I remember waking up and thinking, like, oh, what? And then I think we were just kind of sitting all day and whatever, and then when we got going, we kind of were, like, expecting them, like, I know you're supposed to go into a game and be like, oh, you got to play every game, but I think we were kind of just expecting to just blow up on them, and they fought back, so we were kind of like, oh. And then we, like, started to get going a little bit, but I think it was just kind of like an off day for us. We kind of just were out of it a little bit.
I think that, like, a big thing was just kind of getting out on shooters. We didn't really think of that. Like, we didn't put that into practice, and we kind of, like, figured that they weren't going to have that high percentage of a shot selection when they did, and throughout the game we had to get more out and out on shooters and stuff like that. So eventually we figured it out, but at first it just, like, kind of was, like, an awful, like, moment, so.
Into the first quarter. We went subbed in 5 for 5, which we don't usually do, but we've done it from time to time, and we were just struggling, I think, a little bit with our energy and intensity at that point. So we subbed him in. We were winning 12-11 when we subbed him in. We finished the quarter up 21-17, and it was 21-14, and they hit a bank 3 from 25 feet that was pretty well contested. So we'll take it. That was they gave us a really big lift, and just played with a lot of energy for 3.5.
It was really great, especially since playoffs are starting to come. It's getting to be that time where it's you lose, you're out. So it's good to see that we have people that are stepping up now, and we had 5 people that stepped up in that game, the 5 freshmen that came. So that was really good, especially if like one of us goes down or something and we need someone to step in. It was really good to know that we're going to go into the long playoff stretch with more than 5 people.
It's definitely nice to have subs come in and know that you're not going to lose your lead and all that stuff you just worked for is going to go down the drain. But it's nice that they're finally getting it and kind of like picking up. Even when we're not playing good, they're kind of like, okay, like we need to step it up, because if we don't, then it's not going to be good. So it's nice to have those kids that can come in and continue to play even when other people aren't playing well, or even if you are playing well, they can continue to keep.
It's definitely important. They're stepping up big time. This is like 75% way through the season basically, and I think that their roles are becoming bigger, and they're starting to show where they shine and where they don't shine, and they're kind of figuring out like our lingo and like our language and the like toughness we need to keep it going. And when like the time is right and when we need them, they came out and they were really strong. They took really good shots. Then they played some defense, which we definitely needed. Second half of the first quarter. So when they went out there, it was like a whole new ball game.
there's situations within games throughout any year where you really get challenged or you face some adversity. And clearly that first half of the Central game was, we were seeing a lot of resistance. They were doing what they do, and they were very physical and very aggressive. And as I said, they shot 12 for 22 in the first half. Shot the ball really, really well. So, we didn't say much at halftime, really. We just basically said, look, you just have to answer the bell. You got to go out in the third quarter and compete, and just be us. And sooner or later, good things will happen. So I thought the kids did a really nice job coming out of the locker room at halftime. I think we were up 10 or 12, but it didn't feel like that. And we had a nice little spurt middle of the third quarter, and just kind of started to get a little bit of momentum. And all of a sudden you look up and it's 18, 20, 22, and so forth. And so so that was good to see.
To show what we need to work on going into playoffs. And also to show that we need to show up every single day. Our teams are going to come in. Everyone's going to come in and play hard against us, so we need to make sure that we're on our best game every single time to not let something like that happen in the playoffs when you lose, you're out.
If we don't play 100%, then teams can beat us and will beat us. So it's kind of just a reminder, kind of like you're not untouchable, and you have to continue to work hard even if you know you're going to beat the team or win or whatever. So.
It's a hard night for me every year. I got a hard time talking about this, to be honest with you. So you'll forgive me if I get a tough time going through this. So look, it's hard to say goodbye to kids that you've spent so much time with and who have given you so much and that you've invested in and so forth. I don't think people always appreciate sort of the depth of the relationships that you develop with these kids. And this particular group is interesting for a lot of reasons. It's the first group that we've had from start to finish for 4 years. And so we've sort of gone through the full gamut with this group. A ton of success on the floor, lots of individual and collective achievements, but it's going to be a very tough night. To just sort of recognize that I just don't remember a time when I haven't been there. And so just sort of the thought of saying, I know we'll have a lot of games, hopefully even after senior night, but just sort of the significance of saying goodbye to that crew it's been weighing on me all year long, and I've been doing my very best to just sort of tuck it away in the back of my mind, but every time I think about it, I have a hard time completing a sentence without, getting a little bit emotional about it. So I don't know how it's going to be. It's mostly their night, but it's going to be a tough night for me and for the staff. You still have to focus on the biggest thing in front of us, which is getting it. Right? You gotta go get it. Right? You gotta go get it. Put the hammer down early. Go get these guys. Just do what you guys do. Right? Do that? Yeah. Let's take care of this while we're walking. Yeah. BG, 1, 2, 3. BG. Oh, sorry. Okay.
I think that we didn't have enough time. Almost like us seniors were banned from the gym till 5:30, which usually we're in there watching the JV game by 5 when it first starts, and we didn't really get to, like, we shot around a little bit before, but we didn't get to watch the JV game, which is huge to us, and, like, we didn't shoot at halftime, so that's a lot different, and we ended up going to the locker room early, the weight room, and it was still, like, we were just so excited that, like, I feel like all those, like, kind of, like, suspicions, if you will, it kind of didn't matter at that point. And I think it was just, like, a really big night for all of us seniors, and, like, we loved it. It was just a memorable experience. So.
It was really nice. Everyone, all the younger classmen and their parents decorated the gym, and we had a bunch of posters and, like, the big pictures of all of us on the stage with the balloons. So it was really cool to have that all set up and everyone be there for us. So it was really nice to have a good night like that.
It was really weird. I mean, when I walked into the gym for the first time, I just, like, I thought I would be like, oh, this is cool, but, like, I don't know, it was weird. My heart sort of just, like, sank, and I was like, I can't believe this is my senior night, because it felt like just yesterday I was setting up the senior night for when I was a freshman for the seniors that year. So it was, like, crazy that it already came, and just, like, getting ready for the game and stuff, it just all sort of hit at once that, like, this is, like, our senior night, like, it's ending soon, so... yeah, it was sad, but it was also good to have all the freshmen helping out and, like, setting all that up for us, because it showed, like, how much they really care about us and stuff.
Number 24, Brenna Paquette. Number 5, Aria O'Connell. Number 1, Hannah Muchmore. Number 12, Erin Carney. Brianna Wilcox.
I think every one of us in our own way, we're both looking forward to it, but also kind of dreading it at the same time. And it was really just a night of a lot of mixed emotions. You know, on the one hand, what a great opportunity to celebrate, you know, all the achievements that class has enjoyed. And it's a really, really unique, special group of kids that have achieved a great deal. So very excited about being able to honor that and highlight that and so forth. But by the same token, you know, you spend 3.5, 4 years with these people, and you develop a lot of really deep relationships and a lot of trust and a lot of love and admiration, you know, back and forth. And the reality of kind of the beginning and the end of that is a hard thing to deal with. I know it was a very tough thing for the kids to deal with, a lot of emotions there. Honestly, a very hard thing for us as a staff to deal with, and, you know, you find yourself choking back a lot of emotion at various points in time in the night. So just a mixed bag of, you know, all kinds of different emotions, but all in all, you know, heck of a great night.
I don't know how tough it was on me. I didn't cry last night, so I think that was different. I cried at, like, everyone else's senior night, and I don't know if it's just, like, I don't know, like, in the moment type thing, but there was like times where like I felt like I was gonna cry and I never did.
It was a little tough. It was being the seniors. It's more emotional for you, so I think it's a little harder to have to turn around and go straight into the game. Whereas like in the past years, we weren't the seniors, so we didn't really understand how much like it meant and everything. But now, having it all focused on us, having it be our night, I think it was a little harder. But I think we all realized that we had to still play a game. It still counted towards our record, so we still needed to come out just like any other game, and I think we did a good job of that.
To like walk through, because I was kind of like thrown off by it. I wasn't really expecting it, but I knew that like I don't really have anything to lose because I don't usually get this opportunity, but at the same time I was like, ooh, alright, let's go. Like, I was kind of excited, but I wasn't as nervous as I thought I was going to be, which is kind of weird because I usually get nervous really quick.
In particular, Brenna, who was healthy, has been here for 3 years now, and that's just a kid that comes to practice every single day, works her tail off, and so forth. Hasn't always had an opportunity to get as many minutes as some of the other kids that are also part of the team, but she's there every day, just busting her rear end, and so being able to give a kid like that an opportunity to start and have a lot of success. I mean, she hit a couple threes. She was fantastic. It is always one of those parts of a senior night that are really cool.
Great. I know that she hasn't been playing much, but it was really awesome for her to start and then play all those minutes with us. It's really good because we've known her for so long, so it's really cool to be able to play like that. And then her going out there and not just scoring once, but scoring a couple times, it just made it even more special.
Pretty cool. Obviously, I wasn't really expecting that, but it was kind of cool. Like all the fans and everything. Like this is a really fun moment, fun environment, and it's like cool to be a part of it.
Never gonna get to step out on the court during a real game again.
after my injury. So when I got to go in and everyone was cheering for me, and I looked up at my mom and she was like bawling her eyes out. It's pretty crazy because like that was the last time I was ever gonna step on a basketball court for like an actual game.
It was awesome. I know it's been hard for her having to go out like that and not be able to play again. But it was really, we all miss her on the court, and it was really cool for her to get to come in, especially on senior night, where everyone was there for all of us, and we really liked playing with her, and it was a good moment for all of us.
Played 10 or 15 seconds, but just because of the knee, but being able to sub her in and let her touch the basketball, with her buddies, and then obviously because we had to sub her out was a pretty cool thing. I'm glad we had a chance to do that.